I've been in the Ferguson Florissant School District for about 8 years now. It's been a very enjoyable experience. Coming into the district, I started off as assistant principal at McCluer North. I was there for 5 years. This is my third year as building principal at McCluer. How I kind of got into education, I was one of those kids that asked a lot of questions in class. Had some classes, a lot of times people are inspired by, there was that one teacher. Well, I had that one teacher on the opposite end where I felt like, you know what, I feel like I had something to give. Truly I had something to give, and I wanted to get into the classroom and do it a little bit better than, teach a little bit more, or a little bit better than how I was taught. So I felt like that was kind of one of the things that kind of spurred me into education. Taught social studies here in St. Louis for a while, worked dropout prevention and recovery for about 5 years in Los Angeles. Had a great time, great experience there, just serving and leading and supporting kids who needed support and love. And coming here, I've been very blessed and fortunate to work with the Ferguson Florissant School District, like I said, for the last 8 years. My greatest accomplishment professionally is being able to fulfill, I feel like, my calling or your life's mission. For me, people ask me, why you do what you do. It's real simple for me. It is to make a difference in the lives of youth and to leave a legacy, a positive legacy there for them. So again, I view myself as a servant leader, just that I'm here to help and to serve and support, whether that's a teacher, a parent, a student, those above me and all those around me. I just want to make sure that I'm making the most out of each day. So I feel like I accomplish a lot in a day. As far as, on a personal note, I love being a dad, a husband and father. I can't think of any better job that I could have. Is to, I'm lucky to, have an awesome son and a beautiful daughter that I'm trying to raise to be, a man, a strong man and a strong lady. So I think that husband and father are part of my greatest accomplishments as well. I think finding a balance in being in education versus in balancing the family life. I think there's a fine line that you have to walk there. I think that I'm able to do it at times because I'm a person of integrity. I think that if you're going to be successful in anything, you have to know who you are at your core. As I said, right off the bat, I know I'm a servant leader. I'm here that professionally, but I'm also that at home. I have to set the proper example, and I can't do that if I'm not there. So and raising our kids the right way, teaching them those valuable lifelong lessons that are going to help them to be productive, members of our society. I think that integrity is the key, just in working at home, but also here at school. There's no facade. There's no lie. That would be that'd be too much work. You have to be true to who you are and walk your walk every day. Whether that's here or away, you have to be the same person for consistency. So, from thinking about obstacles in my life, just being honest, it's one major one, and a constant obstacle is being quote unquote a minority just in society, as being a black young man and coming up. A lot of times I was looked at as just being, that's Gary Spiller, he's good at basketball, or that kid, he's a pretty good athlete. My comeback was always, I do have a brain too. I can debate with you, with the best of them. I can take a test and achieve just like the next person. I think that obstacle, even professionally right now, people are shocked a lot of times when they find out, that young man or that young African American man, he's a principal, really? Where at? Tell me more. What's that about? So I think that's always kind of an obstacle, fair or not. I'm judged and evaluated, on the color of my skin at times before, I am, like Martin Luther King says, on the content of my character. So, people look at me, see a bigger, bald, black male, and they don't associate, educator with that. They associate a lot of other stigmas that media kind of portrays. So, I think that's been kind of an ongoing theme. When I was younger, when I was 18 years old, I was fortunate. It's kind of ironic. I got a college basketball scholarship. And I knew that that scholarship was important to me because I wanted to be the first person in my family to go through and graduate, from college. And and then in my immediate family, neither one of my parents went to college. Neither one of their parents, either. I was the first person to have the opportunity. When I got to college, I had an assistant coach, Coach Parker, who said to me, he said, "Gary, you know what? You're pretty good basketball player." I said, "Well, hey, thanks, Coach." And he said to me something I'll never forget, because it was one of the first times that I was looked at as more than an athlete. He said, "You're a pretty smart guy too." He said, "You're good enough to be an All-American, but I challenge you to be an academic All-American." I took that challenge to heart. To me, it was empowering. He told me that I could be more than just an athlete. I can be a student athlete, which I was. And I ended up being like a two-time academic All-American basketball player. And the academic part was much more important to me than the basketball was, because again, anybody can shoot a hoop, but if you can find that, again, going back to balance of, hitting your studies, preparing yourself to be successful post-college basketball, I think that's what it was all about. So again, if I'm looking at that, just, being judged or evaluated, I think, on the color of my skin, or, that's a young black male, he must be good at basketball or play sports. I think that's been an ongoing kind of theme that I've had to overcome. I played at a small school. I played at Concordia University in Nebraska. It's a small liberal arts Christian school. I went there honestly because I was the first person to have a chance to go to college in my family. I knew it was a small school. If I messed it up there, it's on me. Had an opportunity to go to bigger places. But I wanted to play right away, and I also wanted to go, I was interested in education. They had a great teacher preparation program. So, chose to go there. I know, racism's still alive, but I feel that it's more subtle. There's a lot of soft instances of racism. It's definitely there. I think that, for all young people, you have to get to that point. You have to understand that you can't let society or those outside of you define you. You have to decide who you're going to be, what you're going to be about, what you're going to stand for, and you have to go after it. Throughout, my life and a lot of people's lives, you're always continually told no, or you can't, or you won't. And you have to dig down within to say, yes, I can and I will. It's almost that head-heart connection. You have to have the intellect and compassion and want and will to do it. But the most important piece, is the hand-foot. You have to be a person of action to be doing it. So for young people right now, if they're going to try to, make it, and whatever it is they choose to do, whether that's college or a career, I always challenge kids, what 3 things have you done today, that are going to help you get to that next level or that next step in your life. They don't have to be big or great because they're steps along a journey or a process. That may be, looking at a situation differently, interacting with someone a little bit differently, picking up a book, studying, going out and making connections that can help them out. If we're looking at ultimately, a path or a process, for people to be successful, and kind of, knocking down those can'ts, you won'ts, and you'll never make it. You have to start today. You can't wait. And I just said can't. Right now, there's not a lacking of, to me, positive black role models. Heck, look at the White House. Barack Obama is a pretty incredible man, no matter, what side of the political spectrum you're on. He's a good man and a good role model, for kids. I feel like a lot of times there's such a disconnect, he's in the White House, I'm here, in Missouri, how's that ever going to happen? There's a lot of good people here, locally, who are great role models, mentors. Again, that's why I always tell people, look around, find that person, go dig into them, ask them, how they got where they are, find out what you can learn from them. Maybe they have a connection that can help you out. With our kids here at McCluer, I always talk to them about, you never know what opportunities are there for you. Because again, there's a lot of people who walk in this building every single day trying to give scholarships to kids. They have job opportunities, and I talk to our kids about impressions every year. I talk to our kids at the assembly. I talk to them about a 12-12-12 theory, which says, people judge you or evaluate you fair or not the first 12 seconds they're with you, the first 12 words out of your mouth, and the first 12 feet, how close they come. They say this person's a good person or a bad person. They're safe or they're not. They can help me or they can hurt me. So I always talk to them about those first 12 words. Make sure that you have something of substance to say. Make sure it's intelligent. The first 12 seconds and first 12 feet. Make sure your appearance is one and such that that's how you want to project yourself. You don't for my gentlemen, pull your pants up. Let's carry ourselves in a dignified manner. Ladies, let's cover up. Pull them up, cover up. Those are two simple things that kids can do to help themselves. But it's just not true to who you are, because we're all individuals. I mean, it's like I told our seniors today, there was a 1 in 400 trillion chance that they were born when they were born, to the parents that they have, where they were born, so they're special and they're significant individuals, so I encourage them to be the best them that they can be, but if they're not consciously focusing on bettering themselves or being their best, they're not going to get their best.